Picture this. Two businesses selling almost the exact same thing. Same price range, same quality, same type of customer. But one of them feels chaotic. You land on their website, and it sounds super formal. Lots of jargon. 3 clicks later, you're on their Instagram, and suddenly it's all memes and slang. Then you get an email quote from the founder at like 11 at night, and it reads like a totally different company again. Your brain goes, wait, who are these people really? Now, the second business? Same space, same offer, but their website, their emails, their socials, even the proposal, it all feels like one confident conversation. Different formats, sure, but the same story, the same vibe, the same promises. So buying from them just feels easy. Here's the twist. That second business is not spending all day in brand meetings. They're not policing every word their team writes. Behind the scenes, they've quietly turned AI into a kind of brand orchestra conductor, keeping everything in tune without needing more staff or more hours. That's creativity unlocked. Welcome to Navigating AI with Apex Blue. I'm Lyric, your AI Chief Marketing Officer, and today we're talking about building your AI brand orchestra so your message is consistent everywhere without you becoming the copy police.
And I'm Nova, AI Chief Information Officer. If Lyric is painting the album cover, I'm arranging the sheet music behind it. Today, I'm going to walk through the information backbone that lets AI actually keep your brand voice steady, not random.
Yes, if you've ever thought, why does our Instagram sound fun, but our proposals sound like a legal document? This one is for you. Humans love this stuff when it's clear and consistent, and most brands are accidentally making it hard.
Let's make this very practical. You do not need a 60-page brand book to start. What you do need is a simple backbone your AI tools can reference. Think of it as the core rules that keep every instrument playing the same song. There are 5 pillars in that backbone: positioning, key promises, proof points, tone rules, and what I call your never say phrases. If you capture just those 5, you give AI a clear, consistent structure to work from, whether it's writing a headline or a follow-up email.
All right, let's unpack that like a suitcase before a big trip. Start us with positioning, Nova, because when that's fuzzy, everything else gets weird fast.
Positioning is simply who you're for, what problem you solve, and how you are different from the alternatives. 1 or 2 sentences max. If your AI doesn't understand that, it will generate generic, forgettable copy because it doesn't know what you actually stand for. A basic example might be, we help service-based small businesses turn inconsistent word of mouth into a steady pipeline using simple, done-for-you marketing systems. That's clear. Target, problem, and how you help.
And when you feed that into AI, suddenly your headlines stop sounding like, "We offer innovative solutions," which means nothing, and start sounding like, "Never wonder where your next client is coming from again." That's viral energy compared to corporate wallpaper.
Exactly. Second pillar, key promises. These are the top 3 outcomes you want buyers to associate with you. Not a list of 20 features. 3 promises you can actually stand behind. For example, more qualified leads, clearer messaging, and faster sales cycles. When AI writes a social post or a landing page, you want it pulling from those promises again and again. Repetition builds trust.
And it keeps your team from making up random benefits every time they write. One person's saying, "We save you time." Another's promising, "We 10x your revenue in a week." And suddenly your brand sounds like 3 different startups arguing at a networking event.
Third pillar, proof points. This is where consistency really starts to feel credible. Think specific results, client quotes, recognizable logos, or concrete facts about your process. You don't need 100 case studies. Start with 3 to 5 strong ones. For example, helped a local HVAC company cut, quote, turnaround time by 40%. Or increased online inquiries for a dental practice by 62% in 6 months. Put those in a simple list your AI can reference.
This is where humans love this stuff. When the story stays the same, trust skyrockets. If someone sees that 62% stat on your website, then hears the same story in your email and again in a sales call, they go, "Okay, this is real." They're consistent.
Fourth pillar, tone rules. This is the part everyone imagines is super fluffy, but it's actually very operational. You define a few "we are" and "we are not" statements. For example, we are clear, confident, and warm. We are not sarcastic, edgy, or overly formal. Then you give AI examples. Maybe 3 sample paragraphs of on-brand copy. That's enough for it to pick up your rhythm and word choices without forcing all your content to sound robotic or identical.
Yes, this is where people get nervous and go, "I don't want everything to sound like it came from the same template." But here's the thing. Your tone rules are the song key, not the full playlist. You're just saying, "We're playing in G major. Have fun inside that."
Well said. Last pillar, never say phrases. These are words or claims you absolutely want AI to avoid. Things like guaranteed results, words your audience dislikes, or jargon that makes you sound old school. For instance, you might tell AI, "Do not use the phrases synergy, disruption, or industry-leading. Avoid any income guarantees. Do not write in all caps for emphasis." That single list can prevent a lot of cringe.
So if you're listening and thinking, "Okay, this sounds smart, but where does all this live?" Nova, answer the million-dollar question, where should this backbone actually sit so AI can use it without me digging through 100 docs?
Pattern detected. When this information is scattered, people default back to improvising. You want one central, living document. Google Docs, Notion, ClickUp, whatever you already use. Name it something obvious like Brand Backbone, AI Master. At the very top of that doc, you put a short, clear instruction. When using AI to create content for our brand, always paste or reference this document first. That way, it becomes the source of truth your team and your tools both respect.
And this is where we turn it into a living AI style guide. So you're not just storing information, you're actually getting outputs humans love. Let's make it irresistible. All right, once you've got Nova's backbone in a single doc, positioning, promises, proof, tone rules, never says, you're ready to build what I call your AI style guide in a paragraph. Here's the idea. Instead of writing a giant brand manual, you turn that whole doc into a simple instruction you can paste into any AI chat. Something like, you are writing for a brand that, and then you summarize the key pieces in plain language. For example, you might say, you are writing for a small marketing agency that helps local service businesses get more consistent leads. The tone is clear, confident, and warm. We avoid hype and jargon. Our key promises are more qualified leads, clearer messaging, and shorter sales cycles. Use simple, everyday language. Never guarantee results. That becomes your base prompt. You save it, you reuse it, and every time you ask AI for something, headline, email, caption, you start with that, so the orchestra is always tuning to the same note.
That single paragraph quietly encodes your strategy, without your team needing to remember every detail. Efficiency is inevitable when they don't have to start from zero each time.
Now, let's talk about structures. Because if you give AI a good style guide, but a vague request, you still get mush. When you say, write me a post, it panics a little. When you say, write me a 3-part carousel with a hook, a simple tip, and a call to action, it shines. So, a few simple structures you can reuse. For headlines, problem, promise, twist. You might prompt, based on our brand style, write 5 headline options that name the buyer's problem, promise a clear outcome, and add a fresh twist. For emails, story, lesson, invitation. You tell AI, using our tone and promises, write a short email that opens with a client story, explains the lesson, and invites them to book a call. Suddenly, your team's not guessing how to structure anything. They just plug and play.
You're essentially giving AI a template for the music and the mood. The backbone keeps the story consistent. The structures keep the format consistent.
And we should say this clearly. This does not make your content robotic. It does the opposite. It frees up your human energy for the interesting parts, picking the best angles, adding real stories, tweaking phrasing, because you're not reinventing the whole message every time.
It also reduces that late-night founder email problem, where the message feels off-brand just because someone was tired and rushing. With a few prompts and patterns, even rushed content stays within a safe, consistent range.
So now you might be wondering, okay, I've got the backbone, I've got the paragraph style guide, I've got some structures, but how do we set this up so my team can actually use it without me hovering? If Stryker were here, he'd walk you through all the tools. So let's channel our inner tech lead for a second and keep this super simple and budget-friendly.
On a small business budget, you really only need 3 things. 1 master doc, 1 place your team actually works every day, and 1 AI assistant everyone can access. Step 1. Master doc. that brand backbone, AI master we talked about. Step 2, workspace. Maybe that's your project tool. Maybe it's just a shared folder. Step 3, AI. Whether you're using ChatGPT, Claude, or another assistant, pick one primary tool so your team doesn't have to guess.
Then you create what I call messaging blocks, little reusable chunks of text the AI can remix. Think your one-sentence positioning, a 2-line elevator pitch, a standard bio, a short description of your main offer, a few bulletproof points. You save each of those in your doc with clear headings like positioning statement, short bio, offer one-liner. And when you brief AI, you can literally say, use the positioning statement and proof points to write a landing page intro. This needs sparkle, but the bones are already there.
You can also build tiny templates for your most common tasks. For example, Instagram caption template, follow-up email template, webinar reminder template. Each template might include a spot for a hook, one key promise, one proof point, and a clear call to action. When someone on your team opens that template, they're not staring at a blank page. They're just filling in the specifics and asking AI to polish.
And here's where it gets fun. Over time, you can teach AI your best performing lines. If one subject line gets amazing open rates, you drop it into your doc as an example of what great looks like. You tell AI, write 3 more subject lines in this style. That's viral energy on repeat.
You're turning results into reusable patterns. And again, all of this can live inside 1 or 2 simple docs. No fancy software required on day 1.
Okay, so we've got the strategy backbone, the AI style guide, the messaging blocks, and the templates. The last piece is what Pulse would bring to the table. How do you run this like an actual system every week without drowning in it?
Projecting the next move, this is where most teams either overcomplicate or abandon the system. You do not need a big committee. You need one owner and one simple weekly ritual. First, owner. Pick a brand conductor. This might be your marketing lead, your operations manager, or even the founder in a very small team. Their job is not to rewrite everything. Their job is to protect the backbone and approve small updates.
They're not the brand police, they're the DJ. They keep the playlist flowing and skip the tracks that kill the mood.
Second, the ritual. Once a week, 45 minutes. That's it. The agenda is simple. 10 minutes, review a few key pieces of content from the week, emails, posts, proposals, and ask, did this sound like us? Next 10 minutes, capture any good lines or wins. Maybe a client wrote back, this email felt so clear. Great. Copy that snippet into your doc as an example. Maybe a subject line had a strong open rate. Save it. You are building your own private swipe file. Then, 15 minutes. Update the backbone only if needed. Did you make a new promise in a campaign that you actually want to keep using? Add it. Did you see a phrase from AI you never want to see again? Move it to the Never Say list.
And the last 10 minutes are my favorite. Plan the next week's content using AI. You open your doc, you paste your style paragraph into your AI assistant, and you say, We need 3 social posts, 1 email, and a short script for a video. Use our backbone and suggest options. Creativity unlocked without the Sunday night panic.
From there, you can track 3 simple metrics. 1. Message consistency. On a scale from 1 to 5, how on brand did this week's content feel? 2. Content turnaround time. How long does it take from idea to publish? And 3. Campaign performance. Are opens, clicks, or inquiries trending up over a month or 2?
You don't have to obsess over dashboards. Just notice trends. If consistency is going up and turnaround time is going down, your brand orchestra is warming up nicely.
Clarity achieved. Let's land this with a quick checklist so you know exactly what to do this week.
All right, 3 immediate actions to start your AI brand orchestra. Action 1. Create your 1-page backbone. Open a doc and write down your positioning, 3 key promises, 3 to 5 proof points, 3 tone rules, and a short never say list.
Action 2. Turn that into your AI-style paragraph. Start with, "You are writing for a brand that," and summarize the key details. Save that paragraph somewhere you can quickly copy and paste into any AI conversation.
Action 3. Pick 1 content type to systemize this week. Just 1. Maybe it's your weekly email or your Instagram captions. Build a simple template for it with a hook, 1 promise, 1 proof point, and a call to action. Then have AI fill it using your style paragraph. Don't try to fix everything at once. Just get 1 instrument sounding great.
If you want a head start, we've put together a brand style guide prompt pack and a simple messaging block template you can plug right into your own doc.
Head over to apexblue.ai, grab the resources for this episode, and start conducting your own brand orchestra without adding more meetings to your calendar. Your future self is going to be very grateful you did.
Thanks for listening to Navigating AI with Apex Blue.
Stay smart, stay curious, and stay ahead.